Mortal Kombat 2 was released for the Sega Genesis on September 13th, 1994. Later that year it was released for the 32X. Both versions were ported by Probe Entertainment. So, what's the difference? You'll notice the first difference right when you turn the game on. After the list of developers, the Genesis game goes right to the title screen. After the developers on 32X, you get an opening cutscene. It sums up the events of the previous game and tells us where we are now. This is not in the Genesis version at all. The 32X game also contains character bios. Again, they're not in the Genesis version. The ending has been changed as well. The Genesis version just has text scroll up over the gameplay. The 32X version gives you a nice picture of your character with their story. The 32X game also has these sweet title cards in versus mode. It shows you where the next fight is and even your wins if you're on a streak. Again, this is missing from the Genesis version. Another major difference is in the sound department, mostly the voiceovers. The announcer talks a lot more in the 32X game.
Melina wins. Fatality.
All the character names and more details in the match are said, unlike the Genesis game.
Reptile. Round 2, fight! Fight!
Also, grunting noises are more prominent and clear on 32X. There's a lot more of them as well. Even though the sound effects were upgraded, I didn't notice any change with the music. It seems to retain the same soundtrack from the Genesis. Another noticeable difference is the graphics. The 32X game is a lot more colorful, and it looks brighter. The shadows of the characters on 32X are shaped like the people, instead of the circles like on Genesis. I didn't really notice any difference with the characters' animations though. There are also many details that the 32X game has that the Genesis game is missing. The 32X game has more hanging chains on this level, it has the flying creatures in the sky here, it has this floating guy, you can actually see the lava flowing on this stage, and the people actually move in the background of this level. Plus, when you fight a secret character on Genesis, they just make this level blue. On 32X, you fight in Goro's lair from the first game. A few more details are the text. It flashes on 32X, for fight, finish him or her, and when the character wins. None of them flash on Genesis. The HUD also looks a bit sharper on 32X. It's much bigger and the character names are easier to read. Gameplay is the one thing that didn't change. You have all the same characters with all the same moves, and you have your secret characters too. There's a tiny difference with Shao Kahn. On Genesis, it says fight, then you begin.
Will die, fight. You will die.
On 32X, it doesn't say fight, it just starts.
You will die. You will die.
There's also a slight difference with the cheat codes. Both games have this test mode, however, 32X is missing a couple things. The Oh Nasty is gone. That's a reference to Raiden's Frugality move that can only be done on this level. Also gone in the 32X is his cartoon Toasty when you use the test mode cheat. So, is it worth it? I'd have to say yes. Even though it didn't do anything drastically different, it's still much closer to the arcade than the Genesis game. It has character bios and a cutscene for the intro and ending. It has improved sound with clearer voiceovers and has more voice samples. It improved on the graphics with better use of color and included many elements missing in the Genesis game. Sure, it's missing a couple of cheats, but it's not going to ruin the whole experience. And yes, the Super Nintendo game already has most of these features, so it does feel like Sega is playing catch up. I do wish the 32X game had some exclusives, but at least it's a step up from the Genesis game. It can be a bit pricey though. So, if you want to play Mortal Kombat 2 on the Sega, give the 32X game a go. And special thanks to Bubba Ace for his donation of the 32X game.
Fatality.
If you want to see a comparison to the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis versions of Mortal Kombat 2, check out this Console Wars video.